He was like, yeah, I'm gonna get that nigga. And MUWOP just, fuck it, whatever. Let's do it. And shit. And they ain't know that it was a 5-0 behind them. It was a police officer. It was a police everywhere. Make sure no dumb shit. So she went and she told the other officers, and like 20 officers came. And when they came, that's when they were asking MUWOP and the other, oh, what y'all doing here? And they was like, oh, we came to see KEEF, you know, that's my boy or whatever. They were like, nah, we need you to go. And a lot of niggas, I told that KEEF told the police, KEEF ain't told him. He didn't even know what the fuck was on.
Oh, you fucked over! Hey, why is it wrong? These are the G's on side. Head on with that car, now that was stumped over. Do it over! So you wasn't making numbers. Y'all don't have a problem. Y'all take follow problems. God! Oh, God!
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now I got a nice one for y'all today, man. It's getting crazy. It's getting real crazy over there at OTF, the whole Chicago. You know, that whole organization where at one point all these guys was affiliated, right? Chief Keef, Lil Reese, Boss Top, Lil Durk, King Von, all of them. At one point they were all one, but somehow the fame, between the money, between just, I guess, pride and egos, because that's what I'm getting from this whole situation between Chief Keef and Lil Durk. Right now, it was at one point a lot of people that's riding with Lil Durk right now was once riding with Chief Keef, and once Lil Durk got his wings and he's the artist that he is now, a lot of people that was with Chief is now with Lil Durk. And you know, it's not no mistake. Chief, he just been off the radar. The only people you really see him with right now is Ball Out and Tato. Now, if you remember before, he used to have a whole crowd of people with him all the time. Every time you see him, Lil Durk was one of them. MUWOP, all of them, and Boss Top. You know, the whole situation between him and Boss Top. You know, they fell out, whatever the case may be. Now, when I tell y'all things like Lil Reese and Lil Durk, it seems like they have tension between each other, and y'all sit there and chose not to believe me or think that I'm doing clickbait. Things like this always show themselves. Now, it's been alleged, and we're gonna say alleged, you know, because you know how you guys do. Oh, you just want views, whatever. So it's been alleged that a few members, at least 2 members from OTF, you know, was plotting on Chief Keef and the whole Glow Gang and taking their jewelry over there at Rolling Loud. Now, one thing I'm gonna say about Rolling Loud, until before I even get into this, Rolling Loud, they gotta do better. What they do is a lot of times they put artists that are actually beefing with each other under one roof, and it never goes right, man. At the end of the day, I feel they need to hire somebody or just have someone with enough knowledge in the music industry of what's going on to have these artists set up a certain way to where maybe they don't have to intervene with each other, because judging from what the security guard at Rolling Loud was telling us on Fusion's TV, it almost went down at Rolling Loud. It just so happens that a lady cop heard MUWOP and this other person he was talking to that was plotting on Chief Keef and them, and she made them remove themselves from the whole situation. Now, like I said, man, back to Lil Reese and Lil Durk. Now, one thing for sure, 2 things for certain. Like I said, there's some type of tension going on between the two. If not, why do you see Lil Reese now hanging with Chief Keef when in fact, excuse me, he was hanging with Lil Durk for the longest now? Ever since he got shot, he been hanging on the other side with Chief Keef. Now, Lil Durk and Chief, they try to act like they don't have this little secret tension / beef with each other. They always try to make it sound good, seem good, but it's really not. And nobody even knows the reason. But, in matter of fact, if you know the reason, let me know in the comments. But anyway, fast forward, after Lil Reese got shot, we haven't been seeing him with Lil Durk or none of that anymore. And now they surprised us with a performance of Lil Reese over there performing with Chief Keef during Rolling Loud. Now, my thing is this, right? Let's say you don't believe the fact that Lil Durk and Reese is beefing. Why is Lil Reese performing with Chief Keef knowing that Lil Durk have issues with Chief Keef? and the whole Glow Gang and that whole thing. Alright? Why are they over there? Why is he over there performing with them? And to be honest with you, I don't blame him, because let's be real. Do you think that your boy Lil Durk was gonna let Lil Reese out on a set and perform his own songs? No, I don't see that. I don't even see that ever happening. But at the same time, shout out to Chief Keef, because he kept it real. He brought the boy out. You could barely hear him. His stage presence was a little off. He was just walking around. You couldn't really hear Lil Reese. But at the same time, Chief still made that effort to give his boy a little bit of shine. Not to mention, they played some classics. They played Us, I Don't Like. It was some classics, man. I actually enjoyed his performance. I think he had one of the best performances at Rolling Loud, you know, aside from Young Dolph as well. Now, let's get straight into it. Now, it's alleged that MUWOP and somebody else was backstage while Chief Keef and Glow Gang was on the stage performing, right? Now, in the midst of the performance, they was backstage. Somehow, MUWOP and whoever this other person was, who the security guard described, MUWOP must have said in a loud tone, I don't know why, but he said that let's get Chief Keef and them for their chain. You know, he wanted to take their jewelry. You know how that go, man. Now, first of all, I thought that right off the bat, maybe it was him and Boss Top, because you know Chief Keef and Boss Top already have some type of history to where Boss Top stole his jewelry before anyway and ran in his crib. But now that if I put two and two together, I could bet my bottom dollar it was E-Dog and MUWOP, because these are the same two that went live dissing, saying a lot of subliminals to Chief Keef and the whole Glow Gang, all right, not too long ago. Now, I guess they said too loud, and a lady officer was actually standing close enough to hear these guys say that they was plotting. See that they was plotting on Chief Keef and the jewelry. She approached them, asked them what are they doing back here. They tried to act like, oh no, we were friends with Chief Keef and the Glow Gang. I'm pretty sure the lady sensed that they was bullcrapping, so she told them to get lost. And so as she made them get lost or whatever the case may be, Chief Keef and them came off stage. The security guard said he tried to get his attention to tell him what was going on, and you know, he couldn't get his attention then, but somewhere later on down the line, he got his attention and told Tato what was going on, because he seen Tato first, and he said he seemed like Tato was actually on go, like he was ready, like, yo, who, where, what, let's get it done right now. Now, also, like I said, this whole Rolling Loud thing, man, when they put these artists together, it's dangerous. You may not see it, you may not think it, but it's dangerous, because these guys are really beefing with each other, and somebody can actually get hurt. Alright, now it was kind of weird to me when I first seen that Lil Durk and Chief Keef was going to be in the same, you know, underneath the same roof. We haven't seen that in a long time, but I thought something was going to pop off. You know, God willing it did. That's what's up. But fast forward, after all of this, MUWOP went live with E-Dog, and E-Dog and MUWOP proceeded to call Chief Keef and the police. And the thing that happened now, I actually skipped the part. What happened was, after the lady cop told him to get out of there, a whole bunch of other cops swarmed around him, you know, and actually made them, you know, get out the the circumference. So the disconnect in the communication, you know, the miscommunication is MUWOP and E-Dog actually thought that Chief Keef and them called the police, but the security guard that was actually right there vouched for Chief Keef and said, nah, that's not what happened. What happened was the lady cop just happened to hear these guys talk, and as she heard him, she just made him get out of there, swarmed him with a bunch of police, and that was that. So at the end of the day, that's the moral of the story. Chief Keef and them did not call no cops, no none of that. MUWOP, he was just slipping. He said a couple things he wasn't supposed to say out loud. They heard him, and that was that. Now, also fast forward, because Boss Top, on his Instagram story, he posted a picture of himself dropping the rakes, and then he puts this as the text. He says, quote, when I find out where you little N-words hiding, one y'all getting cut. Who was he talking to? What was he talking about? Now, the average person will say that he's talking about Quando Rondo, The average person would say that he's talking about Lil Tim. I don't know, cause he's throwing, he's dropping a rake, so it's a little meaning behind that, right? Also, Little Vonnie the Muscle, he's part of OTF as well. He puts up a post in his story and says this, quote, "Removing myself from situations where I don't feel loved, appreciated, or respected." And he puts up another post in the Instagram story, and it says this, "Any weird S I feel from this point being stepped on, and I'm done being cool." So, like a lot of people, like I said, when I tell y'all that it's a lot of tension going on at OTF right now, I'm not making it up. Something is in the water over there. It's a lot of tension. It's a lot of things going on. Else not, these type of posts would not come about. He's not talking about the ops. I keep telling y'all that. These messages are not for ops. When you say things like, quote, "Any weird stuff I feel from this point getting stepped on, I'm done being cool," you don't be cool to the ops. You're not cool with the ops at all. So 9 times out of 10, he's talking about somebody close, man. I just wonder who he's talking about. Now, if y'all remember, this is the same guy that actually wanted to, stop the whole BD versus GD thing. And, he actually said that he was going to put a stop to it. Anybody on his side, he seen this and the other ops, and whatever the case may be, he's going to handle it. But right after he did that, Munna came out and he did and like the first bar of his first song, he did MVP. So, like I said, man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but that's the story behind the whole Rolling Loud situation. When everybody, because a lot of people, they was a little thrown off as to why MUWOP and E-Dog was sitting there calling Chief Keef and Glow Gang the police, when in fact the real story actually came from the security guard who was there. It's not like it came from Chief Keef or Tato or anybody on that side. It came from somebody that had nothing to do with anything. So he has no reason to sit there and take up for either sides. He kept it real. He said MUWOP was talking too loud about taking Chief Keef's chain when he came off stage. The lady officer behind him heard him, approached him about the situation, called over a whole bunch of officers, had him removed, and then that was that. Alright, so a lot of times things get misconstrued. Nobody really knows the truth. But also, keep in mind, the whole Lil Durk and Lil Reese tension. Like I said, I don't know what's going on. Nobody's saying anything about it. But like I said, I was one of the first to tell y'all that y'all sit there and say that I'm capping, I'm doing it for views, I'm doing it for this, no problem. But why is Lil Reese over there performing with Chief Keef? Like I said, I think that performance symbolized something. I don't know what, but I think that symbolized something. And that was a message. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this, man. Do y'all think Lil Durk and Lil Reese is actually at odds with each other? Do you think Chief Keef probably actually did call the cops or whatever on them too? And that's another thing, man. Yo, listen, Chicago, man, y'all need to have fun, man. Y'all guys that Rolling Loud, y'all out the hood, man. Come on. Leave the bull crap for the streets. That's it, man, because guess what? The bags are going to stop rolling in. They're not going to want to have certain people at these venues because now y'all look like a hazard. Y'all look like a risk. So the money going to stop. The bag going to stop. And eventually, Durk is going to see that. And it's going to be like how 50 Cent, remember when 50 Cent first came out? He had a whole G-Unit crowd with him all the time. He said he realized dudes was bad for business. It was bad to have these dudes around. Next thing you know, he started putting them right back in the hood. And I can see that happening now because these guys are bad for business, especially with Durk being this star that he wants to be, this big star. Everybody can't come with you. So let me know how y'all feel about this in the comment section, man. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.